Hey,
What's going on?
what's going on, dude? How you feeling today?
Get a little sipper in there before we begin here tonight. Welcome to it. It is the 3BeerPod. It is episode number 5 of season number 3. It's Chris and Tim, and we're back. Welcome to it, Tim. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, nothing, man. I'm excited for today's guest, that's for sure. A little late addition to the podcast today. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we're going to double back. Is this the first time a guest has made a second appearance? I guess our friends at Sons of Kent have.
And Red Barn, just other than breweries, this is our first having a second guest, or second time for a guest appearance.
Which means they're still answering our emails.
Right, that's good.
That's a bonus. If you've missed it, our guest tonight will be TSN's James Duthie. James will be here to talk about his brand new book, Beauties, Hockey's Greatest Untold Stories by James Duthie. His third book, James will be on to talk about that. That's actually out today, and you can grab that right now. We're going to talk to him all about Beauties here tonight. It's funny, Tim. I was just going to read you. So I had messaged him this morning. I said, hey, would you like to appear? We could talk about your book. And I said, confirm. So at 12:46, I get an email from James that says, I'm good. Cool. Let's go with it. At 1:13, I get, should be good.
All right. So it's 7:05. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well,
if not, we got lots to talk about tonight, buddy.
Yeah, we take that to the bank, though. We'll take that to the bank. So regardless, of the pod, you can go back and listen to episode 1, season 5. It was season 7. Sorry, season 1, episode 7. James Duthie's first appearance, and then his return appearance here tonight. Tim, before we get rolling here tonight, let's get our sponsors in. Let's say a big thank you to Shauna over at the Health House, as always, supporting what we do here at the 3BeerPod. And
our friend Chris McLeod, just crushing home sales right now. If you sell a house or buy or sell in the next week, 36 beers at your doorstep from Chris McLeod.
And our newest sponsor of the podcast, we thank them for being a part of it, the Pakistan Super League.
They are crushing it. Season's looking good over there right now. Big games on here tonight on on the Zone. I suggest tuning in. Some good stuff there. We watched some highlights last week. Man, that's some good cricket.
I had somebody ask me, how did Pakistan Super League become a sponsor? I said, well, they're an honorary sponsor because they laid claim to one of our YouTube videos. We're not sure why, and we're not sure what they had a problem with, but we thought just to make good, we'll offer them a sponsorship. Very lucrative sponsorship on the 3BeerPod. So welcome to the Pakistan Super League. We'll still have to do the Pakistan Super League highlight reel at some point.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I think maybe at the end of the season, we'll best plays of the season. That's what we'll hit up.
We'll talk to the MVP. The Pakistan Super League. All right, Timmer, let's start with what you drinking, bud? What are you sipping here tonight?
Hey, World Series starts tonight. We got the Rays versus Dodgers. So dove into friends from left field. Actually, Tom Page hooked me up with some good beers here tonight. So we got the Italian Pilsner, the Glorioso. That should be a good one. And then love this one. This is Pine Tar Incident. The old reference to George Brett's Pine Tar Incident. That's an IPA coming in at 6.6%. That's a little healthy for the middle beer. And the sweet spot, the Mocha Marshmallow Stout to end the night.
Ooh.
Looking forward to that. Have not had any of these, so looking forward to seeing what we got here. What do you got, bud? You're on mute, I think.
There we go. I was going to let you decide what the first one was, but then I saw it and I wanted to drink it, so I got into it. Backroads Vanilla Porter, Tim. I've never had this, from Myers Creek Brewing Company in Belleville, Ontario. Have you ever heard of that?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Where'd you get that one at? Liquor store?
I have no idea. No idea.
You just have a magic beer fairy that appears places, eh?
Yeah, I went to school in Belleville. I haven't been back there.
That's an old beer, then.
Yeah, it's 25 years ago. Vanilla Porter, it's delicious. It's really good. She's really, really good. And then if we can get to it, our friends over at Refined Fool, the Zane lost his avocado bag, the Brute IPA.
Oh, that's a good one.
Very good. And I will probably dig into this one next because I am loving the Bose right now, Weg the Wolf.
Oh, that's a good one for
this
sure.
Is very good. Very, very good. So we'll settle those in there. That's what you drinking, bud. tonight. What are you drinking tonight? You can throw it up on our Facebook as we chat here tonight. What are you starting with?
I thought you blacked out and forgot that you asked me what I was drinking. I was like, okay, maybe I blacked out. I'm drinking the Glorioso. It's the Italian Pilsner.
Yeah,
it's crisp.
I just started drinking out of glasses, and I feel like I'm actually classing things up. And you've got a little. Now I'm drinking the big ones. Like I should.
This is my sampler. This is number one sampler. This is my first one. It's good stuff.
Number one sampler. Timber, where do you want to start here tonight? As we wait for James to jump on and talk about Beauty's book, what did you want to start with?
Rock a little beer buzz. What do you got there, bud?
All right, let's start with some beer buzz. I do have a couple things here we can talk about. Talk about Miller High Life. They've created a breakfast beer. It's called Brunch So Hard IPA. Hints of orange.
From Miller High Life?
From Miller High Life, yeah. Hints of orange and mango. Pairs well with French toast, pancakes, and eggs Benedict.
That doesn't sound terrible.
No, it doesn't sound terrible. I surprisingly have a taste in the back of my throat for that one. Brunch So Hard.
The last time I had a Miller High Life for brunch was probably 20 years ago. But
no, Tim.
All right. Yesterday.
Was it really?
No, that was Sunday.
Was it really? And what was the other one here? Texas Brewery released a beer with buffalo sauce. Martin House Brewing Company in Fort Worth, Texas, has turned to Frank's hot sauce when they decided to come up with their new IPA. They're not the first ones that have used heat in the past, but this one here, what do they call it? Oh, they call it Buffalo Wangs. W-A-N-G-Z. That's what caught my eye. Buffalo Wangs.
I can see why that would catch your eye.
Yeah. Buffalo Wangs.
So what's in it?
Hot sauce, Frank's hot sauce, but it doesn't have too much about what's in it. It pairs well with Buffalo Wild Wang. I don't know if they've teamed up with them or they've just teamed it up.
The buffalo sauce is in the beer.
That's it. Yeah, it's a hint of heat is what they're calling it.
I've had some beers, mostly like mango habanero kind of flavor.
Yep.
In a beer, I'm not sure about hot sauce in my beer. Back in my home brewing days, that never even came across my idea list on why I would even think about doing that.
I wanted to put it there. So that's if you're looking for it. That's
the name of it. Is Buffalo Wangs.
Buffalo Wangs.
Can only be pronounced that aggressively. That's Buffalo Wangs.
So that's a brewery down Martin House Brewing in Fort Worth, Texas. You know who we did ask about that is first season guest Marty Turco.
Marty Turco. Yeah, I was just going to say that when I saw Texas Brewery there. Marty Turco has brought Kingsville Brewery to Texas now.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of posts from him and Kingsville Brewery about him invading Texas with the Kingsville beer. Got it at a bunch of liquor stores and what are they called? Party stores in the States?
Yep.
So he seems pretty pumped about that. Lots of different people doing it. So that's pretty cool. And
that doesn't happen too often, eh? A Canadian brewery will then distribute in the U.S. Obviously, he's got connections both places, but
yeah, I've heard of Canadian whiskey making the American market. I know 40 Creek is one of their top selling places is Texas. So they like the Canadian whiskey. I thought the Canadian beer might be too strong for them. Maybe not. That's stereotyping or something.
We'll have to see. We'll see if we can get Marty on at some point and talk about Kingsville once again, and maybe a check to see if he's ever had the Buffalo Wangs beer. Which
Kingsville got into sponsoring some curling too, eh?
Yeah, I saw that.
Those guys as well.
Are we having a board meeting right now on the podcast? Is that what we're doing?
Is that what? Welcome everyone to the first annual general meeting of the 3Beer podcast. I feel like I got a new webcam today, buddy, and it's a little close. Just gonna zoom. Oh, wow. That's good TV right here. We got good TV. We got good TV.
We've been talking about you and I are going to host the Festival of Giving, the virtual Festival of Giving, which we did on Saturday night in Tuxes, and we broadcast that. We had it up on our Facebook page, and we had it up on Facebook. We had a very successful night. And obviously not as much has been raised in the past with the Festival of Giving, but still, in a single night in the middle of a pandemic, $177,500 is outstanding. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And you know what? Our local community here in Chatham-Kent, for those tuning in from other places, always supports the Children's Treatment Center. And we are lucky to be a small part of that. Had a fun night hosting. We looked good. I'm not sure how the rest of it went. Had a couple beers. Well, look at this. Look at that.
Look at that.
I look like I'm DJing in the back. That looks good. Looks like you're singing. And
this is the thing. So this is the picture that appeared in our local newspaper. So there's me in the foreground with an absolute chucker of a face. Like, I don't know what's going on there. You, like, in the background, like you had just fell in there. It's my dad said to me, he goes, I saw that picture online. Not good. I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. No mention of the fact that we were involved in an event that raised over $150,000 in one night. My dad went, bad angle. And this is the other comment I got, Tim. So that picture of me and this, see if you see any similarities.
You and friend of the pod, Donald Trump. Yeah. I see it. You gotta comb the hair forward a little bit more, and maybe we're onto something here.
That's
and
horrible.
Some bronzer. You need some bronzer.
What is that?
You're definitely lacking bronzer in this picture. I
don't know. My people are reaching out. I might sue the local newspaper for using my picture. What a mess. I would, if I were you, Tim, I would jump on board too, because I wouldn't be too happy about that. Look, I do
want to point out to them, to everyone that listened to last week's episode with our friend of the pod, Hal Johnson from Body Break. We took his advice and did that whole broadcast, almost 2 hours on the air, standing up. Check that out. Look at that. Also, if you look in the background there, just one can of beer and a bottle of water for the old Timmer here. Keeping it light.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
So way better than what? Oh, got a little blurry. A little blurry there. Way better than I had. I felt good. I felt good standing up. And then tonight, I said, "Screw you, Hal. I'm having a seat."
Look at that. Look behind the scenes, taking you behind the scenes and boxes and the many wires that were dangling in behind there. But thank you to everybody that was part of it. There's Matt Drew from Face for Tom Arnold was so slammered. Yes, he was. If you missed any of the broadcast, there was a bunch of cameos part of the broadcast with some of the celebrities that give thanks to the Festival of Giving, and Tom Arnold's gotten a lot of play this week, as has Gary Busey. So keep a look on the treatment center.
That's a pretty lucrative thing for these guys, eh? Those cameos, those guys get on the cameo. Apparently, you don't have to worry about if you're sober and or under the influence of anything, and then you just record yourself, and people pay them for it. Could we start doing some cameos?
Well, I didn't want to say anything, Tim, but I have applied to be a cameo artist. I
like it. That's a great call.
I was looking today at some of the names, and I said, there is no way that these guys are making any money on this. This is a joke. I should be making something. Come on. So I was messing around on the site, and I found a link that was apply. So it basically asks you what's your name, what's your email address, and how many Twitter followers you have. Like that's the level of celebrity. Like that's how you.
What is your level of tweeting followers these days?
Well, it's not a big deal, Tim, but it's at least up to 40.
So set the bar low, and you can get in on the cameo.
Yeah, but there's some guys, like I think Tom Arnold was $400, but then there's some guys that are $15. I'm like, come on,
$5. I would do it for $5.
Hi, Chris and Tim from the 3BeerPod, and I'd like to wish you.
And what you drinking, bud? Hey, another shout out to Matt Drew and Face for Radio.
Yes.
Man, did that give you some good feels listening to some live music there, recorded live, but it was solid. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I went back and listened to some of that on Sunday, so that was good stuff. It was good to hear some live music, people performing again. So
It was
Shout out to those
FOMO.
guys.
That's what they call that, Tim. Fear of missing out. Like I felt like I was missing out on a party. It looked like everyone was having an awesome time. I'm glad everybody tuned in. Thanks. Still hate the newspaper for that, and I'll never get over this. So that is horrible.
We're gonna do more side by sides with Donald Trump. I think it's great
that
stuff.
is so bad. What is that? What am I doing?
I think you're doing well, man. You're working out every day.
Yeah, it shows, eh?
You're jacked up. Wow, look at me. I'm DJ in the back there. I'm not crushing anything. Not getting a lot of Instagram people looking for me to wear their stuff and whatnot. Whatever.
Have you heard of Canadian DJ duo Loud Luxury? You would know Loud Luxury. You know one of their songs. You know a couple of their songs. You hear them on the radio, and they're pretty popular.
I do.
You would know who they are, but they're a Canadian band, a Canadian DJ duo, and they performed last weekend. Would have been the Western Homecoming weekend, and it would have been a blowout. London would have been crazy, and it would have been a lot of parties. But obviously, since they're on lockdown, and you're like, yeah, you can't have parties, so they did a virtual homecoming for Western, and Loud Luxury, former Western students, performed from a rooftop in Los Angeles, and it literally was two guys behind computer screens, just doing what you're doing here in the background.
Really?
Like, that's all it was.
And they pay for that stuff, eh?
I love all kinds of music. I like country to rap to whatever. Like I love it all. But I just don't get going to a concert to watch two guys. That's what it was.
After you just did that, I think that I would tune in for that.
Yeah.
I think you look good doing that. So people actually pay money to see that stuff, right?
Yeah, they pay good money.
Yeah.
These guys get paid good money. So hey, who's the fool? Who's
Mostly
the fool here?
Me.
Mostly
me.
Mostly us. There's Matt. they weren't wearing pants. I love it.
Love
it.
True story.
No message from Duthie. Duthie, follow up on Duthie again. Should be good, and I'm good. So we're gonna take the should be good. He was having to do a hit tonight for SportsCenter. So I'm wondering if James Duthie is a little tied up with that, which obviously we can understand. We can get James on again at some point. But James's book, Hockey's Greatest Untold Stories, Beauties, the book which is out today, his third book, and we're hoping to have James on tonight. I'm not thinking that's looking too positive right now, Timmer, but
let's give him a second.
Yeah, I'll give him some time.
I will pump his podcast before he gets on. So the Beauties book. Instead of him reading the book like in an audio version, he's doing podcasts to go with it, which is an interesting little. And I didn't really get how that was going to work, but he's basically kind of telling the story of. I think he said he's going to do like 10 of them. It was 57 stories in the book, so he's not ruining the whole book by just doing 10 of them. So the first episode in the Beauties podcast was called Daryl. And I was like, what the hell is this? And it's the story of Sidney Crosby coming up through, where did he play junior hockey in?
Quebec League?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he comes in there, and the veterans on the team just decide to call him Daryl. And it was named after Daryl Sittler.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, because he had so many points in his first game. I think Sidney came in and scored like 6 points his first game. They're like, hey, what's that guy who's had all these points for Toronto? And they're like, it was Daryl Sittler. Like, all right, we're just going to call him Daryl. So they just called him Daryl the whole time. And then covered over his nameplate and called him Daryl. And it's a good story. And then it goes on to talk about his roommate in the podcast. Eric Nielsen was the roommate. And this guy had some interesting times. But if you're looking for something fun to listen to, I'd recommend the Beauties podcast because it was a good one.
You want to hear my?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you want to hear my Sidney Crosby? My brush with fame with Sidney Crosby.
You met Sidney Crosby?
I met Sidney Crosby his very last junior game. So he is 18 years old. He's just a pup, right? So it was 2005 Memorial Cup in London. I was working in London at the time, and we had Memorial Cup passes, and there were media passes. So what we did is during the game, we sat in the media section, the working media. So like the James Duthys and whomever else was involved were all sitting there working. And we would leave to go downstairs and grab a beverage. We just head downstairs. So it was a long day, a lot of partying. It was London versus Sydney's junior team in 2005. Rimouski Oceanic. And so the party was began early that day. So we were not working media. We were not working. So the intermissions would come and these media members would rush to their computers to send off stories or file reports. We would rush off to the beer tent outside and have a couple beverages and rush back inside. So the game ends. London wins their first Memorial Cup home ice. City's going crazy. We go outside. We party some more. We say, let's go see if our passes still work. They work on a return entrance. The game's over. So there's the Rimouski bus sitting there, loaded with everybody. And the front page of the London Free Press that day had a Sidney Crosby showdown or something on it. And we sat outside the bus. Two men, way too old to be waiting for teenage boys to come out.
Whoa. That sounds terrible.
Overserved, waiting for Sidney to come out. And he came out and he was crying. He was bawling his eyes out. And we did what any adult would do. And yelled, Sidney, can you sign this?
I thought you were going to console him, but apparently not.
Nope. So Sidney scribbled Sidney Crosby. I've still got that. Somewhere off to dig it out for a future pod, but I've got it still. Front page of the Free Press, 2005. Sidney Crosby.
Come on.
Yep. If anybody would like to buy it, I have a daughter going to college this year. I will put it up for auction.
We're going to start fundraising.
Yeah.
3Beer Podcast, selling off miscellaneous memorabilia.
That's my brush with fame, my Sidney Crosby brush with fame, right there.
That's solid.
Right there. I don't know why James didn't call me for a chapter in Beauties, because that would have been right up there near the top.
That would have been awesome. Chris, can you tell us about your brush as well? The other funny thing about Sidney Crosby's part in the book that I'm sure that James would rather tell the story, but I guess I can tell the story, is he asked him to do it, and then Sidney Crosby would just leave him voicemails with parts of stories.
That's awesome.
And just be like, hey, oh yeah, I remember this. And he just send him a voicemail or a video or a voice text. Yeah. Here's another part. And here's another part. I was like, that's pretty awesome. And then he just kind of compiled it together, and finally he did interview him. So it was good stuff. That's funny. No, this is just a sampling show here. We're not doing anything crazy here. Yeah, this is the pine tar incident, by the way, from left field, and it's delicious.
That's funny.
Big fan.
That's funny. I'm going to say James is a no-show tonight, which I totally understand. I wanted to ask him tonight is, what do you do the day your book's out? And I guess we're getting it. He said, I got a lot of media today, and we know where we stand on that media scale.
Weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
We're lower on the scale than others.
Yeah. I'm surprised. He's probably talking to the National Post or something right now. We know he's not talking to this media outlet right here that posted this picture. So they're not getting an interview today. That's for sure.
No.
But I wanted to ask that. We'll get James on. I'll send him an email. We'll line him up again for some other point. Timmer, I wanted to play this for you. Okay, I know this is old, but after last week's episode, I forget what we were talking about. I don't know why. I watched this and I had tears running down my eyes. And you might have seen this. Okay, this is an old news report, but it's a classic. Have a look at this.
A Boise, Idaho woman is considered a medical miracle. Laura Esterman was struck by lightning nearly a month ago, and she was considered officially dead. Thankfully, CPR from her mom revived her heart, but she laid in a coma for 2 weeks, and then she defied all odds and woke up. Well, obviously, there was a problem with that tape. She doesn't really sound like that. She doesn't remember the accident, but the evidence is clear. I am so sorry. Laura's learning to walk again after the lightning burned her legs, and we'll have more on that story and hopefully get that tape fixed for you.
Come on, man. I was
I
like,
know what
where
you're
is this?
thinking.
I was like, where is
Yes.
this going?
Yeah, you're
Like,
thinking, Chris, this isn't funny. This isn't a joke at
no.
all.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was.
It's nothing to laugh about, Tim.
I was like,
So,
where are we going with this? And then
yeah.
it starts.
Yeah.
That's something to get struck by lightning.
It is. Yes. It certainly is.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, she said she's still alive right at the end of the game. I don't know if she's, yeah.
What?
That's not funny.
There was a headline I saw tonight. I think it was from Detroit. It was like, person they thought dead from COVID, but was alive, has now died. It's like, what? What? I don't. They need to get their story straight before they start pumping out headlines.
That's what we
Like
got.
that.
Oh,
man.
Timmer, I think we're keeping a short one tonight. You good with that?
Yeah, buddy. I'm good with it. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I was just reading the comment there.
That's too funny. That's too funny. Timmer, you want to pull in a last-minute guest here?
Do we got one?
We have one last-minute guest.
I just sent out a link.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's pull him in. Ladies and gentlemen,
what's going on, guys?
This is Darren Ebert, who we have dubbed our manager of logistics, Darren Ebert, who is a big fan of the beer pod, and we've teased you being on here before, Darren, but dude, you've made it.
We were pulling the Matt Damon a little bit on Jimmy Kimmel, not bringing me on, which is good. We could have kept it going for a little bit longer, but desperate times, boys. Desperate times.
It is desperate times, buddy. You are our number 2, though. If we couldn't get James Duthie on, we wanted Darren.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, you're the guy who comes in when James Duthie doesn't come.
You're just the first one to answer the phone. It's like you weren't number 2. You were on the list, but yeah, you were down there.
I'll put this. I'm leaning you guys up against a Parmesan shaker here at Station 11 in Ridgetown.
Oh, solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What are you having at the Station 11?
Slight lager here.
In the can. So Darren Ebert has been out on some recent brewery tours.
Yep.
Can you tell us about your last adventure, Darren?
So went up to Huntsville on the weekend and toured Canvas Brewing Company up in beautiful Huntsville, Ontario. Lots of research, lots of sabbatical work going on. So got some beers for you guys to try out and showcase on the pod. So we'll have to get those into your fridge here soon enough.
That's fantastic. How was the fall leaves in Huntsville, Darren? Obviously, that's why you were heading up there, was to check out the leaves. Is that?
Yeah, it was good. It's very picturesque up there. The golf course was good. It was pretty cold, to be honest. It's a dumb idea, but it was a good weekend all in all. Long drive for a beautiful Saturday, but it was good.
Yep.
Go ahead, Claudia. You got something?
Just no. We have gotten so low that we've asked our backup guest about the beautiful leaves.
Yeah, that's why he travels Ontario. Darren, obviously we're gonna wrap up here. We don't want to ruin our whole episode, but we would like to.
You know what, guys? I just have to say a couple things. You guys are doing a fantastic job. It's fun to tune in every Tuesday night. And listen to you guys talk to some awesome people. You guys are doing some cool stuff, and I'm really happy to be friends with you guys and to be a part of it, able to through a few laughs and a few beers, man. It's a lot of fun to watch you guys every Tuesday night. So keep it up.
Thanks,
hey,
buddy.
Hey, buddy. One solid question here for Darren. Your number one brewery in Ontario to tour outside of our area, Chatham, Kent. What's your number one? You tell the listeners where they should go safely during COVID. Where's Darren Ebert's number one go-to?
Well, during COVID?
I think your finger's over your microphone right now, buddy.
During COVID?
There we go.
Sorry, man.
Quality.
I'm trying to hold it up here. The Parmesan shaker's not doing it anymore. Man, oh man. I've been to a lot of them, but if I'm not COVID, left field's a solid call, man. Left field is one of my favorites of all time. But right now, man, oh man, Sandwich Brewery in Windsor's got it going on. Old Sandwich Town's a good spot down by the old post office. up there in Windsor, Ontario. But man, that's a tough call, guys.
I know, buddy. You've been around. You have lots of experience in the.
I've been to a lot of them. But I have to say, left field's a solid call. You wouldn't want to be in Toronto right now for the COVID stuff going on. But
trying to keep it.
Dominion
trying to keep it safe
Dominion
here.
City's not open right now. Jeez, tough.
I think it's funny is that this is episode 31 ever for us, Tim. Darren's been watching all of them, and the only question that we thought he could answer, he can't answer.
I can't answer. You know what? The safest call right now for us is Sons of Kent, guys. And Sons has some good stuff going on right now. That Fest beer is phenomenal.
Yes.
Enjoyed a couple of those. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. Enjoyed a couple of those on the golf course tonight. But they don't sell them at the golf course. But we somehow they made it onto the course. So, sorry, we won't say where we played tonight. But
all right,
it was a good round. Good round for sure.
That's beautiful stuff. I think it's we also want to give a shout out to Greg Terry, Darren Ebers,
can we get Greg Terry to cameo here?
Greg Terry, why not? This episode just
downhill. It's all downhill.
There's Greg Terry. Welcome, friends of the pod.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, fellas.
All right,
guys.
Thanks, Darren. You keep working hard for 3 Beer Podcast again, manager of logistics.
Anything for you guys, man. I missed 2 days of making you guys laugh over there in right field. So we'll get it back together soon.
All right, buddy.
Try the buffalo wings while you're out there, all right? See you, buddy. See you, man.
See you, Eber. Oh, man.
Oh,
Eber jumps in last minute. I did enjoy that Duthie has really not looking so good these days. Damn.
Yeah.
No, that's Darren Eber, guys.
This is episode 7, which you'll probably never ever see the light of day. Ever.
It's been solid, buddy. I think this went well. I
Yeah.
think this one really
says the guy in the background. Like, yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my DJing. I bet solid. That's a tough industry right now, eh? DJing.
You tell me.
Oh man.
Timmer, that was fun.
I'm gonna crack into the third one here, bud, and watch the baseball game. Tell James Duthie I said hi if he shows up.
We will. We'll work on Duthie for a future episode, but support him, our past guest on the pod. Beauties, the untold hockey's greatest untold stories. It's a good book. It should be fun. Thanks to our friends over the Pakistan Super League. Don't forget to tune in for all your favorite Pakistan Super League heroes. You know who they are. Also, thanks to Shada over at the Health House. And if you're looking to buy or sell, I'd be happy to help you out and provide any beverage that you would like as we're doing that. Unless your name's Darren Eber.
And to Darren Eber for stepping up here tonight as a backup guest to James Duthie.
Backup guest.
That was awesome. Thanks to Eber for jumping in. That was a great offer. Sent that link out, and bam, there's Darren Eber. Good stuff.
Next week, we'll get that woman that was struck by lightning. Okay? We'll have her on. Cheers, buddy.
Oh, my.
See ya.